Welcome back to Full Scope Fitness. We're now in part 13, and this one's all about long-term planning. This is where training gets strategic. We're not just talking about what exercises to do today, but how to build progress over weeks, months, even a full year. Let's start with the big picture, the annual plan. Think of this as the entire roadmap. It typically starts right after your last competition or testing phase, and it ends after your next major one. If you're an athlete, your year is often shaped around your sports season. If you're just trying to build muscle or get in shape, the annual plan still applies. It just gets customized to your goals. You're working through focused blocks of training that build towards something meaningful. Inside the annual plan are macrocycles. These are big chunks of time, usually a few months, that focus on specific phases of development. For example, you might have a macrocycle focused on general physical preparation, followed by a block where you sharpen your strength or power, and then a final peak before testing or competition. If your year includes multiple sports or competition seasons, you might run more than one macrocycle across the calendar. Next up, the mesocycle. This is where it starts getting tactical. Mesocycles typically last a few weeks to maybe a couple months. Each one has a specific training objective, like hypertrophy, max strength, power development, or recovery. The mesocycle is the layer where your sets, reps, and intensity get dialed in for one clear goal. It's long enough to build progress, but short enough to adjust if something's off. Zoom in even more, and you've got the microcycle. This is your weekly plan, usually 7 to 10 days long. Here's where you decide what training you'll do each day. It's where split routines come in. Push, pull, legs, upper, lower, full body, or whatever setup best supports your current goal. Microcycles are about organization, flow, and managing fatigue. If you've ever wondered why some weeks feel amazing and others feel like a grind, the structure of your microcycle might be the reason. At the smallest level is the training lesson, aka a single workout session. This is your actual gym time. Warm up, work sets, cool down. It may feel like the most important thing, but truth is, one session alone doesn't do much. What matters is how that session fits into your weekly rhythm, your current mesocycle, and your overall training plan. Now let's get into why this matters. If your training doesn't follow some kind of periodization, some form of organized, progressive structure, you're just guessing. And guessing leads to burnout, plateaus, or spinning your wheels. Let's say your goal is to hit a big strength PR 6 months from now. You'd start with a mesocycle focused on volume and hypertrophy to build muscle. Then move into a strength phase with lower reps and heavier loads. As you get closer to your target date, you'd taper the volume, increase intensity, and get more specific with your movement selection. Finally, you'd peak for your max test. If you skip straight to the heavy stuff without that base, you're more likely to plateau, or worse, get injured. And let's not forget the importance of recovery weeks or deloads. After 3 or 4 hard weeks, it's smart to pull back for a week. Reduce the volume, lower the intensity, and let your body catch up. That's where real growth happens. Not in the grind, but in the recovery from the grind. A well-designed program also allows for adjustments. Life happens. Maybe you're not sleeping well. Maybe work gets crazy. Maybe your joints are talking back a little. Good programming builds in flexibility. You can adjust on the fly, change the load, tweak the split, shorten the session, without throwing everything off track. This brings us to individualization. No two people respond exactly the same way to a training plan. That's why it's important to track your performance, watch your fatigue levels, and make decisions based on real feedback. If something's not working, change it. If progress stalls, adjust. There's no magic formula, just structure, consistency, and the ability to adapt. So here's the takeaway for part 13. Don't just train. Plan your training. Know what you're building toward, map out the steps, and give yourself enough time to actually get there. Train with purpose, adjust with intelligence, and give your body room to grow. In Part 14, we're going to break down exercise selection, how to choose the right movements for your goal, and how to balance variety with consistency so you stay progressing without getting bored. Thanks for locking in today,